Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. Their labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who, in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles, show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free.
You are watching The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman, exclusively on ABC Amber TV.
Mama Amber, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. Their labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who, in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles, show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. Their labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who, in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles, show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free.
Hello and welcome to this special broadcast of The Horizon, the voice of the Amber woman. Today is May 12th and it's Mother's Day. Let me begin by wishing all the mothers watching us from all over Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, all over the diaspora in Ground One, a very, very happy Mother's Day. Today, we want to share with you the pride we have surrounding our Amba mothers. Today, we want to recognize the true meaning of Amba mothers. Today, we want to showcase our Amba mothers. We want to tell the world that our Amba mothers are special women. We know that worldwide, the second Sunday of every May is recognized as Mother's Day. Well, I should say in most countries of the world, it is recognized as Mother's Day. And there's a reason for that. Mothers are the glue of families. Mothers are the glue of societies. Strong mothers build solid societies, solid communities. So that's why we have this special broadcast today, May 12th, to honor and celebrate the mothers in our lives, all the Amba mothers, those who have left us, and those who are still here with us. Welcome to this program. I have with us today two powerful mothers. Let me begin by introducing one who is not a stranger on the program. A very powerful lady, a very kind lady, very hardworking and beautiful and dedicated mother, none other than the Speaker of the House, Mawini Lobadi. Welcome to this special broadcast.
Thank you, Ma Patience, for bringing me into this special Mother's Day edition of The Horizon. It's a pleasure to be here as a mother, and it's a pleasure that I can reach out and encourage other mothers and thank all the mothers and the women of our lives, as well as our mothers at the home front. You are most especially welcome to join us, and we honor you for doing that and helping us to stay strong. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mawini. Also in the house with us today is one who I'm very, very pleased to have on our program for the first time, although she's here on a special broadcast of The Horizon on this Mother's Day. It is a lady, a mother, who is a firebrand of Ambazonia. She is a spokesperson in all forms of the word. A fire, telling our people that she believes in us. She's very kind, she's powerful, she's strong. She's another glue in our community. And it's none other than Ma Mildred Chi. Welcome to this special broadcast, Ma Mildred. Well, it looks like we are having some technical difficulties. So,
Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. Their labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who, in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles, show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free.
Okay, I want to invite another powerful.
Oh boy, I'm so sorry, guys.
We can hear you now.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Can you see me
Okay,
well?
I can
Am I
see you and I can
positioned
hear
well?
you. Okay,
Okay, that's because
that's
I'm
fine.
using my phone.
Yes, he will be able to edit off this part, so I'm just going to introduce you. Fellow Ambazonians, it's my pleasure to welcome another mother, a firebrand of Ambazonia. You've seen her before, working hard for Ambazonia, but this is her first time on this platform, the special edition of The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman. And today is my privilege to welcome her on this special broadcast that is taking place on Mother's Day. Ma Mildred, welcome to the program. I want to give you this opportunity to greet our people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my patience. Thank you so, so much. You've been doing such an excellent job with this Horizon show, and I've been one of your favorite people who watches the show all the time. So I'm really happy and excited, and I'm grateful that you've given me this opportunity to be on the show today. And I want to thank my other panelist, Ma Winnie, who is also a champion, strong woman. She's been contributing a lot on this show, and I've been watching you all the time. I hope you were reading my comments. But anyway, thank you so much, especially inviting me on this occasion of Mother's Day, which is the greatest day on earth to me because we are all on this earth because of our mothers. So it is really a pleasure. And it's such a wonderful thing to have a day that's dedicated to people who brought life to this planet and who are the nurturers and who are there to shape society. So I'm really happy and excited to be here. And I want to greet all Ambazonians, mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, everybody out there. I thank you so much. And it's my pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. It's really my pleasure welcoming you on this particular broadcast of The Horizon. So I just want to have us have a great conversation. And to start this, I'm going to just read some sayings about mothers because we're going to talk about mothers in general. And there are some sayings about mothers that I just want to read and then give you an opportunity to just talk about it before we delve into what is happening in our homeland, Ambazonia, and discuss what our mothers are going through or what we went through when we were growing up. And there's one that I just came across that I love so much that I'm going to read it first and then just have you guys talk about it. It says, and this was by Maria Shriver. If some of you know her, she was the wife of the governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But she said this: having kids, the responsibility of rearing good, kind, ethical, responsible human beings is the biggest job anyone can embark on. I just want that to sink in, because we are celebrating mothers, and from the moment that a woman puts to birth, the feeling that they have for that little infant that is just dependent on the mother, from that very first seconds to how many years down the road when they are an adult, that mother is responsible for that child. And it says that that responsibility of rearing good, kind, ethical, responsible human being is the biggest job anyone can embark. So I like you guys to talk about this. Ma Winnie, I can start with you, and then Ma Mildred.
I think motherhood is one of the most rewarding as well as the most challenging. There's a lot of things you can go to school and you learn, and there are a lot of things you can learn from many people. But being a mother of itself, just the process of being a mother, is so wonderful, but it's also very challenging. I remember those days where I was not just only running around, but also with raising kids and being the only mother. And it's very different how we do this when we are in the diaspora compared to when we were growing up and being raised and having a community that surrounded us more. And I remember being the chauffeur of running kids from one program to another, one event to another, one practice, one this or the other, and taking them to school and juggling life. um, it can be very challenging, but it is rewarding. But I think outside of all that, the most challenging for us mothers is just the fact that we need to raise responsible children that become responsible adults that are citizens of the society and that learn to give back to their society. If you have done that and your children can really learn to give back and really know who they are, and as well and become responsible adults, it is rewarding upholding the values that you have taught them.
So powerful. What is your take about it?
Okay, well, my turn. I really totally agree with what Mawini said. And I'll just have to add a few things to it. Um, from the way it is in life, once you have that baby, you are their mother forever. Mothering never ends. Even when the kids grow up, they get married, they still come to you for parental advice. So it's a continuous job and it never ends. So that's one of the things why, Mother's Day is really important, because we honor and celebrate mothers for the role that they play in society and in families. And the biggest role that mothers play in a society as well as their families is raising kids. Just like Ma Winnie said, they have to be responsible. And it is a job where I remember where one interview I watched, Michelle Obama was on an interview. I can't remember which one it was. He says, when you're raising kids, they're not your friends. You're their mother. You're not their friend. There are times when they're not going to like the decisions you make, but that's it. You got to make decisions that will really guide them to grow up as responsible adults. So that is one of the challenges that moms have. Sometimes your kids may be angry with you, they may not like the decisions that you make, but those decisions and those boundaries that you set are those are the guidelines and the disciplinary measures that help these kids grow up into responsible adults. So I think that being a mother, it is a complicated job, but it is a fulfilling job. Once you watch these kids grow up as responsible adults, they're really giving back to society. They are, caring, they are contributing positively to the society. It is very, very fulfilling. And that is a role that mothers play all over the world. You see presidents doctors, all these people are all raised by mothers. I mean, their fathers are a part of it, but that's how you know the role that mothers play in society. So that is my take on it. And I think that mothers are always going to be mothers from the time you have that baby till whenever your time on earth is over. But that is how important mothers are. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to read something else that is at on a different spectrum, something else that may shock you a little bit. Um, let me read this. Okay, let me read this. So it's a different side of it's another saying, but it's also true. Okay, it says, I was asking my friend who has children, what if I have a baby and I dedicate my life to it and it grows up to hate me and it blames me it blames me for everything that went wrong in its life. And she said, what do you mean if? Do you get it? He said, what if? Let me read it again because I read this and I thought it was funny. I was asking my friend who has children, what if I have a baby and I dedicate my life to it and it grows up to hate me and it blames me for everything wrong with its life? It blames everything wrong with its life on me. And she said, my friend said, what do you mean if? Meaning that it's bound to happen. So, what is your take on this? Because you can be the great mother, the greatest mother on earth, doing everything by the book, and you still have a child who will blame you for not doing a great job. So, what do you want to say about that? I'll start with you, my Mildred.
Okay. Well, to me, it's not shocking because I'll tell you one thing that I know about life. The fact that you have a child and you put in your best to raise that child, people are born with their own attributes. People are born with their own mannerisms. So all you are doing as a mother is to guide them to be the best person they can be. Of course, if they grow up and they don't take your advice and things go wrong, they might turn out to blame you. But deep down as a mother, if you know that you did your job as a mother and you know you did your best, I don't think that's something that should be upsetting, because all you have to do is just remind the child that this is what I try to do, this is what I try to say, this is how I try to counsel you. So I don't understand how you can hate me. Another thing is mothers are nurturers. They are nurturers. Your child will always be your child. Even if they do blame you, you can understand that that's a child. And of course, sometimes people feel comfortable throwing blames all over the place. But that is one of the things that mothers have to bear as well. I mean, to me, mothers shoulder everything: blame, love, hate, spite. But as a mother, you're a nurturer. And I think personally, I will not take that, I will not find that offensive. I'll always remind the child that this is what I did, this is what I said, this is how I tried to counsel you, and you wouldn't listen. So I don't know how that could be blamed on me. But as a mother, I think, like I said, it's an ongoing job. It never ends. So it's not a surprise that that could happen. But as a mother, just keep loving and nurturing. That's all you can do.
Amen to that. Ma Winnie, your take?
Yeah, I think when I heard that, if I just laughed and I smiled within and I said, there are moments, the fact that you birth a child does not mean that that child, their temperament, their mannerism, like Ma Mildred alluded to, are exactly you or how you think. They are an individual and they have a will and they have emotions and their temperament may be completely different from yours or that of the dad. But there is one thing that we all are born with skills or talents that we are endowed with by our creator. So, and there is a bent towards something and some area that we would go. What if the if is it's bound to happen from the year you when a child is 2 years old, Do you know when they talk about the temper tantrum at 2 years old?
Yeah.
That's a good example to show you that, this my nice, loving baby that I cherish is now establishing and having their own will and their own way.
Exactly.
There is one thing I
Mm-hmm.
would say: in spite of how or what a child does, ultimately, every mother loves their child
Mm-hmm.
unconditionally. It is
Absolutely.
not based on whether they have done everything. You start loving that baby the day that baby is in you. You
Absolutely.
don't, it's not dependent on they have done everything right for you to love them. Then they have earned it. I think the way God made it, God shows us unconditional love. So he also put that in us, mothers, to show unconditional love to our
Mm-hmm.
children to a minuscule level. It's not even like God's own level, but it is there. It's in us to love our children in spite of their errors, in spite of the blaming, in spite of the challenges. The reason I'm saying this is because not every mother will raise a child and the child follows them and do everything. Sometimes a child may blame you completely erroneously because they did not
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a child may blame you as a mother, and rightly so. We should be ready to admit when we try to force them. For example, a child may be interested in wanting to study and go towards the bend of how
Mm-hmm.
they see life and how they are wired. Let me use this for example. A child says, I want to be whatever, and the parent think that they need to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or a nurse, but the child picks and says, no, I don't even want to go to school. I want to do business. I want to do this. How do you handle that? You
Mm-hmm.
still love that child. You still are there to help that child. But sometimes things go down, errors and problems are that is part of life. Maturity will come when that child understands that the error is not big, or the difficulties they are experiencing, it's not because of their mother or their dad, it's just life. And because as a parent, you've had some years ahead of them, you know that it is life, so you can show them some grace and just
Mm-hmm.
continue to love them irrespective of whether they blame you or not.
Mm-hmm. Very
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Let me, Mom Mildred, I want to ask this particular question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask of both of you.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a little bit touchy because we are growing in a foreign land, and we were raised by most of us were raised by mothers back in southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. And the way our
Mm-hmm.
mothers raised us was more, uh, uh, I don't want to say tough love, but we knew they loved us. But it wasn't the type that you say, "Oh, I love you," like what they do in the diaspora, where mothers are always very um, touchy, meaning that they express their love with words. I love you. Oh, you're so beautiful. Those type of things that our mothers, our grandmothers never said to us, right? I don't know whether you get my
Mm-hmm.
drift. I don't remember my
Yeah.
mother would say, "Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're such a hard worker." But I knew that they loved me. But we
Mm-hmm.
are raising kids who want that affirmation. They want to be told that I love you. They want to be told that, oh, you're beautiful, or you are hardworking, you're things like that. I see that as a dichotomy. I don't know whether you both want to address this, because I think it's something that is very important in our communities.
Well, since you asked me first, Mappy, I'm going to go first. And this is what I look at. I look at it this way. We were raised back home as in a totally different kind of culture and a totally different environment from what we find here in America. To be honest with you, I'll have to say that I've not been a very fortunate child because I lost my mom when I was 7. But, the advantage I had was that I grew up in an African community where all my aunts adopted me as a daughter. So I have always felt the loss of my mom, but still, a lot of that, the part that my mother would have played, were all played by my aunts. And I had a very loving father who really did a great job raising me as a dad. My success in life is a testimony of the great job that my father did. So we'll talk about Father's Day another time because I'll have plenty to say about that as well. So anyway, talking about the love, yes, our mothers were raised in a different way, in a different time, when they were also not told that or expressed that they love them. They were only trained, raised to be able to do work in the house, to study, behave well, and all that sort of thing. And they were really never told, "Oh, I love you," or "You're doing well. This is great," because it was something that was just expected. You were just expected to learn those things and become a well-raised daughter. That's how it was. And to them, it was the norm. It was the norm. Because when you go, like I said, in Africa, a child is raised by the community. So everywhere you go in everybody's house, you yourself, oh, that man is picking, or it behave well, nice girl, papa they raise it well, it behave well. Yeah, people talk about that a lot in society. Oh, that one is some wonderful one, or in it behave well, and all that. So you are judged by the way you behave and how you're raised in a community. But here in America, it's totally different. It's a society that really it's more about, you have to be able to really express certain things to children, like "I love you," "You're doing great," "You're doing excellent," because that is what they expect from you. If you don't tell them those things, they'll feel like you're undermining them, you're not appreciating them, you are not really understanding that's one of the things my daughters might say. "Oh, mommy, you don't understand." I think that's a typical phrase that they use. "You don't understand." "Oh, yes, I do understand." It's just that the way we were raised is different. So it is, in a society like this, I'm not really surprised that it is the way it is. But at the same time, you have to understand that back home, we're also raised with really, really great cultural aspects, great manners, great behavior. We're taught to cook, clean, go to school. We could do everything. But this society, it's another different thing, because you have kids that would, they do they will cook, they clean. Sometimes it's hard to teach them how to cook, but they still learn. The ones that do learn, they will learn. So I think it's two different cultures. And I grew up that way, and I never felt bad about it, not being told that, I love you and all that. But the kids here, it's a different culture, it's a different society. So I totally understand the difference between the two. So that's how I see it, and that's my view of the whole thing. So thank you.
Well said. Mawini?
Yeah, I think our love back, it's a cultural thing. We are dealing with two different cultures, and there is the strength in each culture, and there is a weakness in each culture. The In our own culture, it was more you show love and you did not verbalize it, like you're saying. There was a lot of action in showing the love more than the verbalization. But I think in this culture, we have come to realize you have to not only show it, but you verbalize it. And sometimes they want more of the verbal affirmation, verbal telling the kids, "Oh, you're good, you are this, you are that, you are that." But for us, it was the action. The action that the parents did was to raise the kids, provide for the kids. And the action that the children had to reciprocate was to be obedient and learn the things and glean and learn the things that the parents were doing. And then in their own pride, it was to show the parents that, "Hey, I'm meeting up with this." And you see, and then the parents will say, "Wow." In some homes, you had a few homes where when the I will give example where children did very well in school, and then there will be a big party they'll celebrate. But many
Mhm.
homes, people couldn't even afford that, so they didn't throw big
Mhm.
parties. Say a child pass whether GCE or what, or they excel well in school, or they receive an award. It was just expected that you would do that. That was part of your love to your parents. Was more action, was more in
Mhm.
the action and acting
Mhm.
part than it was in the verbalizing. But I think
Mhm.
there is nothing wrong when we come. Like I have come to learn, or I learned that everybody's love language is different. Some people,
Mhm.
it is that verbalization. For others, it is the action, doing things for them. For others, it is spending time with them. So,
Mhm.
expressing love for each child, you just have to learn and know which one your child receives as their love language so that you adjust. Because, to be honest, for the child that is exuberant, uh, extrovert, and then the mother is extrovert, you'll find that they might get along very well, or they
Right.
might clash
Flash.
and blame you, the mother, like you were talking, we were alluding to
Mhm.
earlier, because they have similarities, or they might just become very good at doing common things together. And for the one that is
Mhm.
reserved, a mother who is expressive may, why is this child always like this? No, but our temperaments and love languages are different. However,
Mhm.
there is nothing wrong in telling your
Mhm.
child, I love you. You did
Mhm.
well. There is nothing wrong. It doesn't diminish your status as an adult and as a parent. Rather, it enhances your role as a parent and make the children really look up and say, "Wow, I can
Mhm.
guarantee you." We are talking about this. Some of you parents or mothers back at home, start trying and doing this to your children. Don't even wait and say, hey, they don't already grow. Sit there, they don't get their own married, sit there, get their own beginning. Let me tell you, start them, mommy. Start them today and see whether the pikin they don't be a teenager. Start them for them. You see their friends will go start say, wow, can you fit
Mhm.
imagine? Their mommy dey talk say he love them. Wow, wow. And your house will become that point of magnet where people they
Mhm.
feel love and they feel welcome because you have gracious words to give them.
Mhm. Right.
Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you so much. As we move on in the program, I just wanted you to think about how our mothers raised us before the war, because remember now we're at war, and the mothers of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia in the days pre-war, how they most of them put birth to what, 5, 6, 7, 10 children. I don't know whether it's still happening these days, but they was very fertile, and most of those kids came out, strong and hardworking. And these days, I don't know whether they still have such fertility, but I just want you guys to talk about how we were raised by mothers who had so many children, how we were raised in communities where you really had family unity. This is before the war, what we are missing versus what is going on now when you have families torn apart, where you have mothers there that have lost loved ones because of the war. You don't know where their children are and they're in pain. But I just compare and contrast a little bit so people can appreciate why we are really celebrating Mother's Day, because mothers again are the five, they are the bond keeping the community together. You can go first, Ma Winnie, and then Ma Mildred.
Okay. Um, if I just remember growing up, when we grew up, there were so many mothers around um, the neighbor, the aunt, the grandma, the older mother who was maybe across the street, and the other mothers, your mother's friends. The community was one that brought, they felt responsible for every child, and they felt responsibility not only to help, but also to be disciplinarians, which is something that doesn't happen in our Western culture. Discipline happens only within the family, and nobody else interferes with that. But when before the war, or while we were still there, because I want to make this clear, some of us have been removed from our community for so long that we've forgotten, or we don't know how things have changed. Just like my patients was alluding that our mothers had many children, but she's wondering if it's happening today. I think because we were many, and growing up many, what ended up happening is you had many cousins, you had many other people that we could relate with, we could play, we could interact, you could go for counsel or say your things, share, and they'll tell you things. But with what has happened at the advent of a lot of our mothers who used to be at home, go to farm, maybe do petit trading, were now working class mothers. So they had to use a lot, many babysitters, and then the children were raised even almost like you would raise them in diaspora within their own circle, and only would go play and interact with other children that the parents had chosen or were willing to take them to. But nonetheless, there was peace around where mothers could leave their children and go to farm or to the market and come back and know that the children will be playing and interacting with other children, and it will be safe. But with war, what has happened actually before the war even started, a lot of things had started happening. I can go as far back as in the days of SDF launching, how our place was invaded with so many, I mean, Ambazonia land, especially in the midland and as well as in the savannah zones. You had a lot of military personnel that were brought in, and as they came in, there was this incidence of many people were girls were also raped. Of course, it doesn't mean that they are the only ones that brought that into the society, but that safety, that sense of being in a place where it was safe, had vanished. And because that vanished, it even got worse, 10 times worse or more, when war was declared, and they sent all these young La Republique military guys into the community, and rape went up, STDs went up. I remember, anybody in La Republique can challenge me, HIV/AIDS in our zone was highest than anywhere else in Cameroon. Why? Because majority of the soldiers that were sent into our zone during the time of SDF were HIV positive. And they came, and because of the rape and dealing with the women in there, as well as the prostitutes, they spread AIDS widely among in our community. And of course, when they carry it, that was even before antiretroviral medications were there. So a lot of our people were decimated, and they died of HIV/AIDS because that safety net of what was happening, something else was introduced into our community that brought along with it disease and STDs. So, as mothers, I think that brings me to the other part. We need to educate our sons and daughters. I don't want to
Mhm.
say daughters only, because it is both sons and daughters how to take care of themselves now, even as young adults as they get step out into the world.
Yes, indeed, Ma Winnie. Ma Mildred. So we're just trying to
Mm,
compare how mothers were in the days when
mm,
we're growing up, and
okay.
the huge difference that we experience now during wartime. I know you
Okay.
said your mom passed when you were 7, but you were raised by aunties and many loving women in your life. But
Yeah.
comparing to what our girls are experiencing now during the wartime, what can you say about the difference in motherhood in these two periods in our people's lives?
Okay. Well, thank you so much. This is a question. This is a topic that when I delve into it, it really breaks my heart. And if I go back to before the war, I'll try to go back mostly to the time when I was back at home and seeing how things were going. There was peace, relatively speaking. There was the family unity was there in terms of the family was together, and you had no issues in terms of worrying about security, your children going to school, traveling from Bamenda to Yaoundé, traveling from Bamenda to wherever you want to go to. And when I went to a boarding school, and when school was out, vacation was starting, we would just go to an uncle's house in town, and we'll all be there with cousins, and we'll have a nice communal life. I mean, the mothers were my uncle's wife was there. She would take care of us, and then from there I'll leave, go to my dad's house in the village. Sometimes my aunties will come. It was a whole communal feeling. Everybody was together. People were driving, going to Yaoundé to apply for concours. I mean, I would say that the family unit was there. I don't want to over elaborate on that. There was safety, the family unit was there, and there was this sense that at least your child will graduate, they can go to Yaoundé or somewhere and find a job. So there was no need to worry about the life of your children or the life of your family members around you. So I will not say much about that. So I'll just fast forward now to after the war, which is where I'll talk a lot more about. When the war was declared on us, I guess our people did not really see the kind of horror that was gonna really befall them. But what I see now are fractured families. Mothers now, they barely even think about having babies. I think they think more about survival. You look at this mother who took her child, I think baby Caroles, took her child to go to school, and the child was shot right there in the car. You have this other baby that was shot in bed, little baby Martha, shot in bed. That was a little baby in bed. I mean, laying down, sleeping. The mom was right there. They came in, shot the child. I remember this video I watched about this girl. It was one of the most heart-wrenching testimonies I've ever watched. And I watched that video only once, and I've never watched it again. The lady said she was running from war. She had her child strapped to her back, and they
Hmm.
shot that child on her back. I don't know if
Yes,
you guys remember that video.
I remember it
And then they
vividly.
showed yes, they showed this other testimony of this other woman who had fled to, I think, Douala or somewhere. I mean, the stories are absolutely devastating. How can mothers even think about raising children? You're so traumatized. All you think is about surviving, or the children that you have around you, keeping them safe. I'm sure even the ones that are going to school, the parents are just hoping that they hope they come home alive. So this is what war has done to our people. Even the ones that went to they fled to Nigeria as refugees. Go, I think almost just around the time when the war started, and this whole family that ran to Nigeria, and they were staying. They were all in a room, and I think they inhaled something, and in the morning found them all dead in the room. That was so devastating. I mean, this now is time now is about survival. So the family unit, as we used to know, is broken. And then another thing is that this war has caused a lot of people to run out of the country, running on foot, going to running. We've heard people running through the forests in Mexico, families have been terribly fractured. So, excuse me. So I think that now our mothers are more concerned about survival, trying to keep their children around them safe, because this war has brought, but you know, disaster among our families as we know it. Even now, when I sit here, I think about my family back at home. I'm just praying to God that, please, God, I don't want to wake up tomorrow and I hear that a stray bullet got them. So that is the difference between before the war and now. So I think the mothers now back home are worried about security, worried about diseases like Ma Winnie just said, all these rapes. You saying this other work. I saw another video about a woman who had a baby and she was raped and she was crying on video. I mean, can you imagine a young woman who just had a baby being raped? So you can imagine now the kind of mindsets that our mothers have back at home now. It's the more of survival, trauma, and trying to make sure that the people around you are safe, you yourself are safe, and your children are safe. Even the unity that they used to come together and everybody's together. Even now I hear even the born houses or the cry dies are not as populated as they used to be before. Everybody comes in. It's a quick thing now. You hurry up, get it over with, and then you go home. So all that is lost now during the war. And that is there is a lot of rebuilding that we have to do when the war is over, because this has really traumatized a lot of families. Some women fled to Nigeria. They were torn from their children. So I don't even know if some of them have been reunited. Honestly, I really don't know if some of them have been reunited. Some don't even know where their mothers are. Some don't even know where their fathers are. So that is what war has done to us. So that family unit, a few of our people might still be enjoying that, but I still think that they worry about security as the bottom line. So I think that we really need to try to be, show some empathy for our moms now back at home. Try to be supportive of them. Try to make sure that they get at least what they need, and try to make sure that we educate them, as Ma Winnie is saying, about HIV and all those diseases, because they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable now because they have been, all this Republic Army has invaded their territory, and they are at the mercy of these people now. So there's no more security. There's no more assurance about anything. You could look at this other woman that was shot. I'm talking about Mbengwi Road. She just dropped off from a taxi. She was walking up to her house. She got shot and killed. I mean, you can see that there's, even by our own home, you still don't have that security. You're not sure. So these are the things that we really need to make sure that we address once we get a free country, because our people have been traumatized. That family unit, I'm sorry, I feel like it is no longer there as it used to be, because families have been fractured. People have fled the country, so that is what we have to really start thinking about right now. Thank you.
Wow. So, Ma Mildred, you really expound on the fact that because of this war, security is more an issue than family cohesiveness, because you have families that have been scattered, where you don't know where the children are, you don't know where the spouses, the and mothers cannot do what they do. Mothers are supposed to raise their children. One of the first saying that we started this program with was saying that the role of a mother is to make sure that they raise children that are kind, ethical, responsible. How can you do that under this type of scenario situation when you're at war, where your main focus is your child's security? We're going to continue with the program. I just want to introduce some very powerful mothers that have been in the limelight sometime during this war on us. There's a video of a mother speaking in the marketplace, and I just want us to hear and celebrate some of our powerful women, because it takes guts for them to stand and talk, amongst other people, despite the fear of war, despite the fear that they may be targeted and killed or harassed or raped, anything. So if the technician can play one of those first videos that we're going to watch, and then there will be a second one to follow, so that we appreciate these mothers.
And I shot that very talk for all my belly. It does say for all country war that they need to drive mayor. That is so. I want to say the thing where it make them for mayor them for Cameroon or mayor them for Northwest and Southwest they get problem. So Monday we don't know. So the thing where it make them drive for all office because now we be supposed to vote mayor them. We are just we are sure for the vote.
I just want you guys, I love that video. Whenever I see that video, I'm so, it reminds me of some powerful mothers that we have that really feel like they can stand and talk. But let me have you guys opine on what you think about when you reflect on this video.
Wow, what a powerful woman.
Okay. Well, when I saw her, I was shaking my head. I'm like, see, that is a woman. That's exactly what we're alluding to. A woman who is confident, a woman who has raised a lot of children, and she knows them. She's saying from experience. It's not like she's guessing. She has the right to tell them as it is because she's raised children. All those governors, mayors were all raised by mothers, and she knows. So that's why when I see women who are risking their lives, because she's risking her life by doing that. Mind you, that she's speaking now when we are at war. So anything could happen to her, but she has the confidence and she's bold enough to stand up there and speak her mind. And those are the kind of women that we really have to cherish and really give them the support that they need, because we need more of those voices to be heard. So I mean, you're talking about a woman who can stand up there with a microphone and say, telling people, telling governors, what she thinks of them. So that is really admirable. I like what she did, and I hope that a lot more of our mothers can be able to do that, even though I know it's a risk, but that is what we need to see, and that is very encouraging, and it makes me so proud, because that is a mother for you who is willing to tell people exactly what good behavior is versus bad behavior. Thank you.
And we want Mawini. Thank you so much, Mildred. Mawini, your take on this.
Okay, I think that video is not very old as we think. So I would say this: you can see the guy by the side was wearing a mask. So that tells you that it may have been during the COVID time, but she is right on the mark. That is even why we have the problem we have, because we were supposed to be electing and voting for our own leaders, mayor, governors, everything. This woman is really politically in tune how things are supposed to work. My patience, the last time you and I had a show, we talked about how even in secondary schools, even in primary school, we were voting for prefects, class prefects, before we even went. So we had already had this democratic principle embedded in us. Even in their Jangi houses, they vote too for the leadership, treasurer, and whatever. Even in their market community where they have their market associations, they vote. So how come that somebody had to sit in Yaoundé and impose leadership on them, and the person was not elected? My goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Abba Mothers. You know the real problem. The root causes of our problem is the fact that we are being oppressed and leadership is imposed on us. I tell all those so-called politicians that call themselves elite, go take your lesson. Go take politics. Politics 101 from that mama. She's in front of the main market there in Bamenda. Go take your lesson from there and know who and how politics is supposed to function.
Yes, you're right, Mawini. This video was not too long ago. It was just right after COVID came, and I think COVID had died down a little bit. That's why you don't see a lot of people with masks. So I think it was probably 2021. I don't remember. I think it was around 2021, that video. So not too long ago. There's another video that I want us to see where it's really well, let's see it. I know you guys can talk about it because these are our mothers, that give birth to these children that are being called terrorists by colonial officers, and the mothers stood their ground. So let's watch the other video because we are celebrating mothers on this Mother's Day, and we just want people to remember what our mothers have stood for and continue to stand for.
Strong measures that will be taken to reinforce the security of the population. But my sisters, my daughters, my mothers, I want us to take our destiny in our hands. We have played a lot. We have covered the killers a lot. When I asked you before the speeches, who are the killers? You say you don't know. God, the Honorable Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, remind you certain facts, and after her intervention, you cannot say that you don't know the killers. So repeat after me. Who are the killers? We don't know. You don't know? Yes. Even after what Honorable Lifaka said, you don't know who are the killers? We don't know. The killers are your brothers. The killers are your children. The killers are people who are living amongst you, and you don't want to denounce them. You don't want to denounce them until you will continue to cover them.
Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. They labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who, in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles, show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free.
Yes, yes, yes. That video speaks volume. I don't even want to say anything. I just want you both to talk about it. Ma Winnie, you go first, and then my Mildred.
I think I have a double take on that. I think there is a double take on it. The first one is the so-called, whether it's Dio, wanted to intimidate these mothers to say they know who the killers are. And I think this was in relation, relative to what had happened. Was it after the
Kumba.
school
Yes, it was
massacre?
after the Kumba.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, after that school massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, the mothers did not know who killed those children. They are right. And even the La Republique agents who were sent to go massacre and kill those students, those mothers truly do not know them as well. They may and could have seen some, but may not be able to identify them or call their names. So that's the double take. The double take is they don't know, they were not there, and then he wants them to say, oh yeah, because I have brought another imposed leader politician and she has come and talked, so you people, it is your sons, it is. They say, we don't know, we don't know. They never raised sons that were killers. They never raised sons that were soldiers. They never raised sons that were terrorists. They raised their sons, and their sons are the ones that are in the bushes, like Ponji Atanga will say, the voices in the bushes.
Voices.
Yes, their sons are in the bushes because he, that very deal, is the one that will call that they will bring soldiers out of their barracks to come and chase and gun down their sons and their children. And because it did not work, they decided to kill children in the school so that they can turn it on them and say, oh, you see those Amber struggle, they are all terrorists, but it backfired on him. And he's literally serving the person who put him there. He was never voted. So how would he even represent the people? Because he's only imposing what his master, who put him there, has asked him to do.
Okay. That's a great take on it. Ma Mildred, your take on that, please.
Yeah, my patience, my Winnie well said, but this is why I laugh. You know, it's like you've given birth to a child and the child grows up and thinks that they know more than you do. You know, he's standing there, he was birthed by a woman, and he's sitting there talking to these are mothers as if they don't know what he's already up to. The moms already know what he's up to. He cannot undermine their intelligence. So they're just sitting there listening to him out of respect. It's not because they really care about what he's saying. It's because they know what he's trying to do. He's coming there and trying to get them to implicate their children who are innocent. And they just tell him, no, they don't know. And truly, they don't know. See, these are the kind of things that I'm saying that, you know, you never, ever undermine the intelligence of our mothers. You never do. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe he thought that the women were going to be afraid and say, oh, yes, we do. That was not going to happen. These mothers came there knowing exactly what is going on. And mind you, these are their children that have been killed. And you come there expecting them to lay the blame on other people, and that's not true. So these moms knew exactly what he wanted them to do, and they were not going to do it because, you know, they know exactly what's playing out. As Mawini said, these are politicians who've been elected to come there and tell them what to do and, you know, push them around. And that is just one of the things that I say, that our moms are very, very intelligent. And it's really, really uplifting to see our moms just look at him like that and just tell him straight to his face, no, we don't know, because they know better than he does. So great job, our moms. That's the way I look at it. Thank you.
Exactly. That's why we're celebrating all these mothers. That's why we're really honoring these mothers, because at wartime, they know what is at stake. The lives of their children, the future of their children is really at stake, and they have to stand their ground and support their children no matter what. There was another incident that I don't have a video of, but you people already may remember it. And that mother who said objection, to Atanganji. That's another one that, if you remember, maybe either of you can say something about it. I don't know if you remember the incident, but feel free to opine on that lady who said objection.
Well, I will go first because this is what I'm going to say. Mothers are very nurturing. And one thing with moms is that they hold a lot in. In a family, mothers will see things happening, they witness things happening, but they hold it all in. And that's one of the very positive traits that mothers have, because they try to keep the family together, they try to keep the peace, so they try not to inflate problems or blow things out of proportion, or even create problems where they realize that if the least thing they say might just make things worse. So they try not to do that. But it gets to a point where enough is enough. And I think that it had gotten to a point with this mommy here who said objection, because she was sick and tired of all that nonsense they were saying. She had to stand up and just say it right there. And that is what is happening with a lot of our mothers right now in Ambazonia. A lot of them have seen really horrible things. A lot of them have witnessed a lot of things, but most of them are quiet. They are just taking it in. Some of them break, some of them are strong, most of them are strong, and they're still moving forward. Their children are getting killed every single day. Their daughters are getting raped every single day. Their sons are shot. I mean, it is just a horrific thing that's going on in Ambazonia. And our mothers are taking it every day. They still go to the market, they sell, they still go take their children to school, they still cook, they still sit at home. But this mother, this day, she said, you know what? Objection, because that's enough. I'm not going to put up with that today. And that's exactly what is happening. And I think that as time goes on, you're going to see some of these mothers coming up and saying that enough is enough, and just telling them, I'm sick, I'm tired of all your crap that you're saying. Because, this is the truth and this is what is happening. And what you're saying are lies. And this is what I see as a woman who had gotten to a point where she just felt like, you know what, I'm just going to say it right here. What you're saying is just not right and it's not true. Objection. So I really salute that mama very well. And it was a very, very bold move for her to make. And I'm sure it took that politician. I don't know if it was a Tanganjo, whoever she was talking. I can't remember who it was. I'm sure it took that person, by surprise. They never saw it coming. So I really, I was impressed. That video, I watched it for quite a few times because it was very impressive. So that's a woman who stands up and speaks up. And that is what it's really a good thing to do once in a while, especially when your life is at risk. So that's another thing that we have to praise her for. So that's how I look at it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma Midred. Mawini.
Paul Atanga in that meeting that he held, it was also, I think it was also in the Atlantic zone, probably maybe even in Kumba. And what he did, he started using the Bible, quoting the Bible, and flipping it to say that Bible say, may you pray and may you obey all authority. Say now God don't create all authority, put them on top.
No.
And so that mama saw the deception and the twisting of scripture, and she just raised her voice and said, objection. I love her for that. She saw the light. The Bible says even the enemy, even the devil comes out like an angel of light. And that mommy saw that devil in Mr. Ponji Atanga coming and pretending to use Bible to come and shove things down and control them. And mommy said, objection. We know that Bible pass you. You want to use it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I really applauded her for that. The boldness, it was in a meeting, because they could have picked her up, but the boldness and courage that God gave her, and she stood up to speak. I pray she is still alive.
I know.
I pray that Mama is alive and she's raising her children to be as bold and to know truth and to distinguish between lies and fantasy and fake
And stand for the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. Okay,
Amen.
so um, there's this video of some mama singing, because I think what I want us to do next is I would like you people to just maybe pray, give some tributes to some Ambazonian mothers, any mothers that you feel if you want to salute. It could be women that you know, it could be just general women in the community. But before that, I just want us to have a brief interlude where they play this song, just to lead us to this next phase, where I would like for you guys to just appreciate some mothers in your lives, or you don't have to call specific names, some mothers in communities, and give them advice during this wartime. I know you already gave some advice, but I just want this particular segment to be one of more celebratory in nature. So if we can have that song where the mamas are dancing, that would be nice. So yes, we are Mama Amba. We are Mama Amba. Okay. So at this point, I just want us to pay tributes to the mothers. Ma Mildred, you go first, then Ma Winnie.
Oh, what a touching song. As a Mama Amba myself, well, I just want to really thank these mamas for their strength, their bravery, all the pain that they've endured. They're the ones bearing their husbands now, bearing their sons. So I really, really appreciate the mamas. I mean, for mamas to pay tribute to, of course, Mami Api is one of the first that we will always remember. This poor old man who was burnt in her home to ashes. That is always a picture that has been painted, even in not in all Ambazonians, but most Ambazonians' minds, because that was one of the first horrific scenes that we ever saw when this war started. So she is a woman that I really want to pay tribute to. And then I remember another pregnant mama that was killed, I think around Acha Ombengwide, with her husband. I think they were both doctors. That was at the beginning of this, not yet. She was heavily pregnant and she was shot and killed with her hands tied in her tied behind her back. That is a mama that I'll never forget. This one that you're showing the picture here laying on, I mean, there's so many of them. And I have a lot of pictures. There was one mama too who was shot. So many mamas have been shot. So I just want to pay tribute to all of them, all the mamas who have been killed. And, it's so heartbreaking because this mamas lost has left behind little kids, children, husbands, brothers, sisters. So, it's really something to really, really appreciate the sacrifices they are making for all of us. And we just want to, thank them for their bravery, and thank them for being there, for standing strong despite all the pain and hardship. And we're all here to support them as Mama Ambas because we will just want to be able to be there for them and raise our kids in a way that they'll understand what our mamas back in Ambazonia have been able to put up with, have been able to deal with, have been able to stand up to, have been able to face, as as strong mamas as they are. So I really want to thank them all for what they're doing. Thank you.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, Mildred. You give so many good examples of mamas that have really gone ahead, and we pay tribute to them on this special Mother's Day, because they will always be mothers. They will always be mothers in our hearts. Ma Winnie, some tributes that you want to present, please.
I think we started by highlighting some women and mothers who stood firm and who spoke, even in spite of the danger, not fearing for their own lives, but they took matters into their hands and put their lives at stake. This I remember this video that you have on now, where this baby, not knowing that the mom was dead, clung to the mother. It was a sad thing. And of course, somebody else will probably come to take the child. The child will be screaming because the child knows the mother is dead. I want to just honor every Amber Mama. Yes, you are Amber Mama. You're not just Amber Mama because you are from Southern Cameroon. You are Amber Mama because you are brave. You are Amber Mama because you have the heart of a lioness, and you will protect every one of your children just like the lioness protects its cub. You will fend for your children. You are the ones that go to the bush market, to the farm, to go buy food and to go buy things in spite of the war to bring something home. You are the ones that you teach your children to duck when they hear bullets being sprayed all across so that they can protect and preserve their lives. I just want to thank and honor all of you, Mama Ambas. And even some of them that I remember I think there was a mama too that gave birth, I think to twins early on when the struggle started, and she passed on, and other women took over, took
Mhm,
those infants in the bushes. That is the heart of the Amber Mama, where when you see that the other mama is gone, you take over the babies to raise them. Yes, that's the Amber Mama. I am, like I would say, we thank you all, Amber Mamas, for the food you give, for the love you share, for the encouragement, for the protection you put around, for preserving, because you are preserving your own seed, your posterity. So because
mhm,
if you don't do it, nobody can love your child like you do. Nobody.
mhm,
Not even Mr. Bia. He will never
mhm,
love your children. He doesn't even love you. He cares about what
mhm,
he can get from your land. Thank you for
mhm,
loving. And that love is even shown at When all the men were killed, you were the ones digging graves to bury your sons and your husbands. We salute you. That is not, that is like a taboo in our culture, but you guys braved it and went through, and so that you could give a proper burial for your children. For the mamas who have lost their children in many places across Ambazonia, and they were not able to receive the remains of your son or daughter, so you could put them and lay them to rest and have closure. I honor you and I salute you, and I say God will comfort you. So to all the mamas, those that left and went into refugee camps to protect and preserve life, and to protect your children, to protect the lives of the loved ones that are around you, I salute you and I honor you.
Good.
Oh my goodness. There is so many images. There are so many images that come to mind. But there's one that I want to share with you. I couldn't have it projected because it's kind of sensitive. But I'm sure if I mention it, you will all remember. Remember the case where baby Carolus was killed, and that mama went out naked. Remember,
Oh,
the mommy went
yes.
out naked,
Oh, my God.
crying over the dead body of her grandchild. Whenever I think about, those are the mamas we are
Oh,
recognizing today, because that
man.
mama was mourning. That, can you imagine the amount of pain that was in that mama to
Yeah.
do what she did? She was in so much pain, and the only way for her to express that pain was to take off her clothes, everything, bare body, and was outside in the public over her dead grandchild. Those are the mama ambas we're remembering today. And many of the mama ambas that are refugees in neighboring Nigeria, those are people that were living peacefully in their villages, in their towns, farming and taking care of their children, and have been forced to flee to neighboring Nigeria because of a war. These are the mamas we are recognizing today and paying tribute to. Those mamas that have even tried to travel from Cameroon, from Ambazonia, through treacherous lands,
I know.
by boat and by land, to come to South America, to cross over to the United States. Many have perished on the way. We just hear stories.
Oh, yeah.
There have been mamas, mothers, who have embarked on those difficult journeys. We pay tribute to them. And the list goes on and on and on. The list goes on and on and on. As we conclude the show today, my dear sisters, again, it's Mother's Day. We celebrate our mothers. My husband always makes this statement, is that my husband always says that if men were giving birth to children, there would be no child on earth. Because he said when he experienced me when I was having my baby, he couldn't really understand how the process was so difficult. So we are telling all our children to continue to respect their mothers. And we are telling all our mothers that we honor and respect them. But I just want both of you to give your final statement, closing remarks, by giving some sort of advice, general advice, or anything that you want to talk about this Mother's Day. Is open, is free time, free for all time, to just say whatever is in your mind as we conclude the program today. Mildred, you can go first.
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you for inviting me to this show. It's just such a wonderful opportunity to share the panel with Ma Winnie and you, Ma P, with this wonderful program, The Horizon. So I'm really grateful that I had this opportunity. And I thank you all so much. And thank you, Ambazonians, for having me and listening to all we're saying. So, anyway, I was just going to say that Mother's Day, let's remember, is the day to honor and celebrate the role that mothers play in society and families. I mean, it's needless to say that we're all here because our mothers gave us life. So at least for the least part, we should be grateful for that. Number one. And then so another thing I also want to say is that we are mothers are very forgiving. So on this Mother's Day, if there's anything you feel that your mother might have done to you, forgive her. And she will also forgive you in return. Remember what Ma Winnie said. Mothers love unconditionally. So it really helps and it's always valuable if both of you can forgive yourself. Open your hearts and forgive your mom if she's ever done anything to hurt you. Because at the end of the day, she's your mom and she will always love you. And mothers are also emotional backbones of the family. You know, they hold the place for everybody's feelings, like I said before, to keep the unit together, you know, to keep us from being hurt. You know, so show your mother or the mother of your, you know, the child or any other mothers around you, how grateful you are for having them in your life. And don't waste this opportunity because I remember I know a few people who've lost their moms and they told me, they said, Ma Mildred, if I had a chance again with my mom, there's so many things I wish I had told her. There's so many things I wish I had told her I was grateful for that she did for me that I didn't realize it until now. So mothers are really, they always support you no matter what kind of dream you have. Your mother will always be there to support you because mothers, remember, they always want their children to be successful. Always want their children to be successful. So I just, it's a good idea to always remember that mom gave you life. So celebrate Mother's Day, show them love, forgive them if they've ever done anything that you're not happy with, and be there for them, cherish them, and be, you know, show them, tell them how grateful you are for everything they've done for you because this is an opportunity that you don't want to waste. So thank you, Ambazonians. Thank you, Amba Mamas. Thank you, all the mothers of Ambazonia. You're very, very brave women, very courageous. You're inspiring, and we will always try to live up to the, you know, the level, the standard that you set for us. So thank you all so much, and have a good rest of your Mother's Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma Mildred, for being here on the horizon on this special Mother's Day episode. Thank you so much. Ma Winnie.
Thank you, Mape. I want to read something from scripture, from the Bible. I'm not twisting it like Mr. Who and who got the objection. And it comes from Proverbs chapter 31, the last proverb, the last chapter of Proverbs, from verse 10. It may say the wife or it may say the woman, but this is all about our mothers and the women that are important in our lives. Let me read it. It says, the woman who fears the Lord, an excellent wife who can find. She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with her hands. Remember that one where they sew, they crochet, they knit? She does that. She is like the sheep of the merchants. She brings her food from afar. Remember that farm where they work and go far away, go bring that chop or bush market? She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants vineyard. They're very industrious. Business, therefore they get business sense. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night because that woman dey overwork. So a lamp dey on. She puts her hand to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle when it crochet, the knit, the sew. He handed it for that machine. It do am. She opens her hands to the poor. She is very generous and reaches out her hands to the needy. That neighbor a pikin wey e dey hungry or e dey sick, na Amber Mami dey cook chop go get am when they dey hospital. She is not afraid of snow or rain for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. So this term them the big bet. It means say you dey work hard so the pikin dey wear clothes. The pikin dey wear their clothes them because you don't work hard and buy them the clothes or so am yourself. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Means say you dress correct because you don't work hard. Her husband is known in the gate. So when your man or your son is shadowed among other men, they know say this one a correct man because you be that good woman. When she sits amongst the elders of the land, she makes linen garments and sells them. Wow, businesswoman. She delivers sash to the merchants. Wow, you get contract too for even do more work. Strength and dignity are in her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. Wow, she opens her mouth with wisdom. You dey give better advice. And the teaching of her kindness is in her tongue. You did talk nice talk and true talk. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. You not be lazy woman. Her children, that's why we're here, Mother's Day. Her children, they rise up and call her blessed. So, mommy, be blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellent, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but the woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates.
Amen.
That's my message
Amen.
to our mothers.
Amen.
Amen. Amen, Mawini. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, Amber mothers. Thank you so much, Amber pioneers of this journey to Boya. I really appreciate you. And there's another saying that I was going to read. It says, "Mother is the heartbeat in the home, and
Yes.
without her, there seems to be no heart throb." So
Very
that tells
true.
us the significance of mothers. And to really end this program, still in the line of the Bible, I want to read Proverbs 1, 8 verses 9, where it says, "Pay close attention, my child, to your father's wise words, and never forget your mother's instructions, for their insight will bring you success, adorning you with grace-filled thoughts and giving you reins to guide your decisions." And finally, the one that most of us know, Ephesians 6, 1 to 3. "Children, if you want to be wise, listen to your parents and do what they tell you, and the Lord will help you. For the commandment, honor your father and your mother, was the first of the 10 commandments with a promise attached. You will prosper and live a long, full life if you honor your parents." So this Mother's Day, knowing that the mother is the glue of our family, The mother is the glue of the community. The mothers are the glue of our nation. Let's honor all our mothers. Let's pay tribute to all the mothers that have gone ahead of us. And let's continue fighting for Ambazonia, because we want to have that land where we'll look back and raise our children the way we used to, where children are raised by the community, not by a mother and a father, but by the community, where children are free to roam around and play and are secure. And the only concern they have is that they want to please their parents, because there will be no fear of bullets flying all over their land, or their land being burnt to the ground by La Republique du Cameroon. So as we end this Mother's Day, let's continue, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, to keep our mothers high on the pedestal, because they are the true glue to make sure that we get to Buea. Thank you so much for being on the horizon on this special broadcast on Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day.
One thing to say,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Yes, Ma Winnie.
Yes, I know you have given the last punchline, but I want to also add something. I want
Ma Winnie has to add it, yes.
I want us to honor this lady, Ma Patience. She is in charge of all of us women, and she's doing a wonderful job to keep us
absolutely
and to get us engaged. Not all you see her here, you just see her for a short period of time and not every week. But I know, because I sometimes will work with her in the background. She is really a mother at heart, an Ambazonian mother at heart. And the wealth of knowledge that she knows, the research that she does to help us Ambazonian get to the front. I want to honor you, Ma Patience. Wow. Thank you.
Well said, Ma Winnie. Yes, I agree with that. Ma Patience has one of the best leadership skills I've ever seen, Ma Patience. And I really thank you for all you're doing, because you're doing a lot behind the scenes, and you really need to be appreciated, not just for your leadership skills, but for your mother, for being a great mother yourself too. Thank you so much.
Coming from both of you, I am truly blessed, because I see you, I respect you. I am so glad to be in the same lane like you ladies are. You don't even know. So I really appreciate this coming from both of you. Thank you so much, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. Their labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. They labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day, we shine a heartfelt spotlight on the mothers of Ambazonia, whose spirits in the face of unimaginable trials remain unbroken and fiercely radiant. Each Ambazonian mother stands as a testament to resilience, nurturing life and hope in a landscape marred by turmoil and the harshness perpetrated by French Cameroon's brutality. Their pain is deep, having shed blood and tears for their beloved land and lost children. Yet in their profound grief, they have not buried their beliefs in freedom and justice, but have instead sown these values even deeper in the soul of Ambazonia. Their love, boundless, their courage, immeasurable. These remarkable women have faced the darkness, yet they continue to embody the light, remaining fruitful amidst adversity. Their labor tirelessly, not just in the fields of their cherished land, but in the heart of their communities, nurturing the next generation with the strength and wisdom of warriors and peacekeepers. Their hands, though weathered by hardship, are the same hands that cradle the future, that plant seeds of hope and sustain the spirit of independence that defines Ambazonia. Today, we honor the Ambazonian mothers who, in the silence of their sacrifices and the loudness of their battles, show us what it truly means to fight for the essence of home and freedom. To every mother who has picked up the metaphorical weapons of resilience, love, and unyielding faith in the face of adversity, your valor inspires us. You do not fight alone. Your dreams for a peaceful, independent Ambazonia echo in the hearts of many around the world. On this Mother's Day, we celebrate you, Ambazonian mothers, not just as the hearts of your homes, but as the undying heartbeat of a nation striving for its rightful place under the sun. Your resilience sketches the blueprint for Ambazonia's tomorrow. May your tears of yesterday water the seeds of tomorrow's freedom, peace, and prosperity. Happy Mother's Day to the unwavering, formidable mothers of Ambazonia. Your strength lights our path to a brighter future. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Mama Amba, with your love for us, we can assure Ambazonia is free. Today on Mother's Day,